Good morning, guys. It's 9 a.m. in the morning, and the Houten show just started here, the December edition. December edition is mostly the largest edition, and for the first time ever, you will see it over there and over there. They opened up a second hall because of the great success of the show, and it's now already full with new dealers. So the show is bigger than ever. We hope to see a lot of visitors today. They're just coming in now, so hopefully we can do some sales. And of course, I already found some items. Maybe I can buy more items at the table today, and I will show those to you a bit later. And here we are again, Monday morning, finished unloading the car, and I will show you some of the new stuff we got a bit later. Okay. Hi guys, so here we are back again in the store at our regular spot at the table. So Houten was quite a good show. You saw it already on the images. There were a lot of visitors, and I must say it was the most visitors I've ever seen in Houten ever. And that's probably because the second hall was added, so more dealers bring more customers, etc. So it's really positive for the militaria world that a new quality show is building slowly and getting bigger and expanding. So it's really nice, and I hope it can grow every time we go. I even heard that maybe next year they are planning on doing a full 2-day show during the weekend. So of course it's not certain yet, but it's something that they are planning and working on. So we're very excited for that as well. The show for me was, buying-wise, was extremely good. I found a lot of nice items that I will show you in this video. The selling was a little bit, maybe not the best selling I've had there. Maybe that's because there were a lot of new dealers as well, and of course people might want to buy there some items first. I don't know, or I have to reorganize my stand, something that I'm thinking of as well for the future. Oh well, we had a good weekend. We spent some time in Utrecht as well, the town near Houten, a beautiful city, looks like Amsterdam, but then smaller and less tourists. So that was fun, and we saw a lot of the dealers back in the hotel, and yeah, had some chit chat and nice talks there. So it was a nice weekend, good for business, and seeing all the friends again. So yeah, it was really nice, and it was a good weekend, but I'm also happy to be home again. Yeah, I found a lot of nice items. The first ones are already here on the table. These are Luftschutz helmets. So I like headgear, and I like these as well, because yeah, Luftschutz helmets, or air raid protection, as Luftschutz would be translated into English. They used all the kind of helmets they could get their hands on. They use the gladiator helmet we often see, or the beaded helmet, but then also civil type of helmets, or reissued combat helmets from other countries like Dutch helmets, Czech helmets, Russian helmets, etc. These are actually three different models. So this is like an M34. We call this the salt shaker model, because the vent holes are, they go a bit like this. And of course they have the vent holes like a salt shaker. So it's original. You can see the split pins are from a different material or color, but that is how the way it should be. So these were actually, in my opinion, also used on the gladiator helmets, and that's actually a typical finish we see on gladiator helmets. But these split pins should have the correct color for this helmet, and of course it has the original decal on the front as well. It's beautiful decal, just the design of it is beautiful, and it's complete with the liner inside. The chin strap is not there anymore, but nice helmet in good condition. This helmet is very similar to it. It's also what we call the M34 type, but it doesn't have the straight bill like the other one has. And this one, the ventilation holes are flat into the helmet shell. Then we see also a nice Luftschutz decal on the front. It's a nice difference between the two decals. This one has black lines, and this one is actually on a model I haven't seen a lot of times. It has blue lines, so the details are in blue actually. It's a beautiful helmet. A small dent on the top, maybe from some pieces falling down when an air raid happened, and beautiful liner. It has a cord. It was found like this, so hanging on a wall in Germany probably. It came from a German guy. So nice. And this is then what we call a commercial M18 helmet. It looks exactly like an M18 or M16, yeah, with the vent. A World War I helmet with this typical ventilation holes, but it's actually, if you hear, it's very thin metal, so not actually made for combat use. It's actually a copy made of the World War I helmet, but for civil use, and in this case it was used for the Luftschutz, but you can also see these used by for firemen, etc. And then it's complete with a civil type of liner as well. Chin strap is complete, but just torn here. That's a pity, but and even has a small piece for the chin, and it's named in the back F. Schmidtman, something like that. Yeah, but a nice commercial M18. Actually, one of the first times I encountered a helmet like that, so it's quite a rare configuration of the Luftschutz helmet, and there are quite a few collectors out there who collect all these different models, and I can bet that this is one of the helmets they don't have in the collection yet, so it's quite a rare piece. Let's make some room. So here we have a Luftwaffe model tropical pit helmet. It's actually a French-made helmet, and you have this typical French stamp you often see in in clothing made for the Germans in occupied France. It has a 58 size mark, size sticker here, typical French lining, and you can see here on the other side a clear print of the Luftwaffe eagle, but it has been removed. Luckily, I think I have one in stock, so I can, yeah, it's very easy. You just put the eagle through it and you complete the helmet again. So I will complete this helmet, of course, before I sell it again. But a nice Luftwaffe tropical helmet made in occupied France during the war in 1940. I think this is 40 for 1940. So yeah, quite happy with that. Then some more headgear. You know I like headgear, so this is a very rare cap actually. It's an M42 cap, so an M42 cap distinguishes itself because it has the 2 buttons here on the front, and it looks actually like an M43 cap but without the bill. So people would attach a bill sometimes on it, then we call it a converted M42 cap. This is actually a very rare cap because these were only produced for 1 year during the war in 1942. They were not that popular with the soldiers because frankly they were not that good looking. But this is a Panzer one, so a black one, which is already extremely rare to find. And it has the original eagle stitched on the front. So if you can see here, you can see nicely zigzag stitched eagle around the edges. Shows nice patina with the rest of the head, and of course if you turn it around there's no stitching marks on the back, so it's an original applied eagle. Only this T-shaped eagle, so is a very rare one. These are worth way over 500 euro today, only for the eagle. The cap is also a very rare one, and most of the times when you find them, I would say most of the times, but these are made by this particular maker, which is the Mützenlago in Wien, Vienna, in Austria, and of course dated 1942 because they were only made during that year. And then we have here the size mark, which is 57. And I've encountered a couple of these hats in my life, and they were always from this particular manufacturer. Of course, there were more manufacturers, but for these Panzer hats, most of the times they're made by these. Also look for original hats. It's also important to look at the rivets. These are typical textbook rivets. So I will have a close-up here so you can have a good look how they look. And then I'll turn it around. So they're quite thick. And if they're too small, they're probably not original. So a nice M42 Panzer cap, very, very rare cap. Yeah, I had one in my collection for a long time, but then I decided not to collect side caps anymore. I sold it then. This is actually the second one I have, or third one I have in my career, a Panzer one. Then here we have a mint, unissued tropical field cap with a green soutache for mountain troopers or Jäger, light infantry. It also has original applied insignia, as you can see, zigzag stitched breast, not a breast eagle but a cap eagle, and of course the cocarde, all applied with the same kind of thread as we like to see, and also the original vent holes, still with the paint on. The paint, these are actually made out of zinc, and it doesn't hold the paint very much, so sometimes you see just these rings, actually it falls off like a ring when the paint comes off because it doesn't hold the paint very well. And then we see here on the other side nicely how they look, a little bit different than the one from the Panzer cap. And it's marked here, it's a big size, 61, will fit my head, by F. Weistenbach, and dated 1941, so it's an early one as well. Yeah, beautiful tropical field cap, side cap. Another side cap here. This is a Panzer one, a typical M34 cap, as we call it. And it has also the original applied insignia on the front, which we like to see. There's a really sunken into the wool. You can't see any traces of other insignia, and it just matches perfectly. If you turn around here, we can see the stitching of the soutache comes here, and then it always comes through on the other side a little bit. It's a perfect textbook example, you can see here. It has the dark colored insignia, M38 insignia on it. It's an early cap, I would say, made in 1939, maybe 1940. And the wool is a little bit different than the normal wool we used to see, and we actually call this captured wool. This would be captured wool from Czechoslovakia when they invaded the country. This was a typical wool they used. The Germans captured out of the factories to create their own uniforms, and you see this in tunics, headgear, etc. So this is a typical hat made from that kind of cloth. Inside it has a typical German lining. Also these typical ventilation holes here. And then it is marked here in a box stamp. Let me check if I can do some reading, but it's very hard. No, I will not be able to read. It's faded. It's a bit faded, the marking, so I can't make a clear reading out of it. It's worn. It's a worn hat, but it's a good and large size. I assume also like a 58 size. Panzer Jäger would this be. So yeah, great and rare hat, and all original, which is rare. Here we have a Luftwaffe field cap, a one button field cap, which is very desirable, and it has the original applied insignia as well. You see machine applied insignia, and here again not through the lining, so 100% original cap. We follow it around. You see it's a different kind of cloth as well, with two different edges on the wool, but 100% original. And we open it up and we see here a faded marking. This would be an RBN number, and this is a size mark, which is 56. It's a normal size, and then the initials of the owner. And if you see my movie, if you have seen my movie about M43 caps as well, this one also has this rim inside of the hat that makes this kind of crackling noise. It's really 100% original field cap with one button, so very desirable hat. I'll show more hats. A beautiful SS side cap. Has a little bit of motting on the side here. That's a pity, but of course it will reflect in the price. We will ask for it. But it has original applied insignia on the front. These are always, or like 9 out of 10, they are hand applied on the SS field caps. So you really have to go on, is the patina right? Is it sunken into the wool? And in this case, yes. So it's for me 100% original cap with original applied insignia. And then it's made by Gorch, Teufel & Son. This is a typical manufacturer for SS field caps. So if you look up this maker like on Google, you'll immediately see different caps known already online from the same manufacturer. So a typical SS field cap from a typical SS manufacturer as well. Then 1, 2, 3. Very lucky to have found 3 of these caps, because normally you won't find any. These are the SS Fezes for the Croatian volunteers who were Muslims, fought with SS. You had these in maroon color and in green color. The green color were the combat ones. I've actually collected these for my whole life, and you won't believe it, but I have a lot of them, and they're all stacked in one big burrito. I call it my Fez burrito. So I will add these 3 to the collection as well. They're all 3 complete with the original insignia on the front, because a lot of these hats used to be stripped for their insignia, because a lot of SS field caps were missing the insignia, and people just tear these apart for their cap insignia. I put this one upside down because you can see the sweatbands are always very vulnerable, and this one has unfortunately been a bit damaged. This one has a brown one, but always look here, the stitching always in green on the back, a bit darker green on this one here, and of course here, because you have to be careful. Like I just mentioned, a lot of these caps were stripped of their insignia, because these are actually hard to find today, and then people would restore these with fake insignia. So always be careful. If the cap insignias are also original, and of course you can easily tell by the stitching, in this case in green wool, and look if there's any evidence of previous stitchings, of course, on the back. Sometimes these are marked as well from different manufacturers. In this case, no markings, but 3 nice examples that will go straight in my collection on the burrito. And here he is, the one and only Fez burrito. So, I have to be careful with the sweatband here. Oh, there goes a Luftwaffe cap, but it's okay. What else can I show you? There's a lot more. Hold on. So, here we have a nice pair of pink piped Panzer shoulder boards, a matching M40 pair of boards, full length, and you see a matching set. I explained this to a lot of people already, but some don't believe me. You will see here the color of this one and this one is slightly different. This one is a bit light green, this one is a bit blue-green. And then some people would say, it's not a matching set. Well, actually it is a 100% matching set, because shoulder boards were made out of leftover materials, and yeah, this was just different material used, but it was sewn by the same seamsters, and it actually is a matching pair. So even if the colors of the panels are sometimes a little bit different, the thing to look at is does it have the same construction? Does it have the same kind of stitching around the buttonholes? Do they use the same material here? That's the thing you want to look at. This one has the wool piping, so this is wool piping, not silk. So wool piping means these are actually 1930, pre-1940, or maybe just 1940 in this case, made boards. And after that they would use silk piping. Here we have a nice Luftwaffe Fallschirmjäger paratrooper badge, early one. Tombak example, excellent conditions, nice patina by Ime and Son, it's marked over here. And of course, with these badges, always look at if it has the original setup. In this case, the catch and the pin are 100% original. A lot of these guys wore these badges into combat and they got damaged, so they repair the catches, etc. And that reflects in the value, of course. But this one is perfectly, nicely worn, early paratrooper badge. Beautiful example. And here we have an SS collar tab, a classic Bevo example, just like our company name, with the textbook backing, like we like to see it. So a late war collar tab, SS. Then here we have an excellent M40 tunic. So as you can see in the previous videos as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons makes it an M40 tunic. It's an early one, still has the M38 type insignias on it, and it is 100% untouched. The eagle is typical zip and flip stitching, so we have machine stitching on the top, then folded around and finished by hand. No other evidence of previous insignia. And then here we have the original applied collar tabs. You can see no evidence of other collar tabs being applied. And then, very special, we have the tresse for NCO, very thick tresse from a Waffenrock. So probably this jacket was used as a walking out tunic, I think, but it is in excellent condition. Still has early shoulder boards as well. Those are not the nicest, but well, they're on there. The jacket is void of damages. It's full length. Still has the pleats here. Pleats are also here, still complete. So it's minty, minty, minty. I'll show the inside as well because it's so beautiful, and it's a large size as well. That's really nice. Most of the times they are quite small tunics. So here we have a 102 size chest, which would be extra large today, and it's marked here 1940. And then here we have the maker mark of the factory, and you can see the liner as well. I think really this tunic was hardly used, I would say, because it has this kind of tresse, this nicely fancy type of tresse. It was used for a wedding one time maybe, and then just kept in the closet. And as you can see here, this is special. You can see the stamp here. This was actually the manufacturer of the wool So before the jacket was cut into panels to sew together, these were actually markings, typical markings you find on the wool of mint uniforms. And then just to check, I told this in previous videos as well, we have the eagle here, so we will try and fold it into this gap where the internal suspenders should go through. And if you look far enough, there we go, here we can see the stitching line of the breast eagle as it should be, textbook. So beautiful, beautiful M40 tunic, excellent condition, no holes, nothing, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I had to pay quite some money for this, but well, this is just the thing I really like, so then I pay a lot of money for it. What else do we have? We have a lot more coming up. Here's a police helmet, M42 EF, so by the maker EF, always badly marked. These guys had bad stamping, so they're always bad marked. But you can easily recognize it by the font of the letters here in the back. That is an EF helmet, and it also has the typical EF-shaped police decals. This one is a little bit more damaged, but it's nice, honest helmet. Liner is complete, although one tongue is torn. This one is almost torn and will be probably not survive for a long time. Yeah, we try to preserve it as good as we can, but it's a nice, honest M42 police helmet. British helmet here. Oh, a tag falls out. Dispatch rider. Perfect helmet. Nice original paint, original wartime paint, not been repainted because this has been used after the war as well for a long time. And then always you can see the you can see it here, but don't know if you can catch it on camera, on the liner band. So B&B, the most famous maker for these helmets, 1934. So a wartime helmet in good condition, light worn condition. Here's a special helmet. A lot of writing has been done about these helmets already. So it's a tan-colored M40 helmet. A liner is in place, chin strap is in place. And these were actually found in Czechoslovakia after the war, and some say that these were helmets produced as tropical helmets for the Germans, but in my opinion these were actually just Czech helmets produced just after the war with original components, so original liner, original chin strap, but these were all painted in tan color. So it's still not sure what these helmets were. You can still use it for a tropical display, of course, but they're all in mint condition, as you can see, and the liners are perfect with the original drawstrings, etc., all complete. This particular example is made by EF, so probably they reissued these helmets after the war in Czechoslovakia and used them for their own army in this color. But they are also quite becoming a collectible because these helmets were, of course, in the 1990s stripped for parts, repainted for reenactors, etc. So it's quite hard to find a helmet like this in this condition, in this untouched condition. Here we have an early fire helmet. So this one still has the early swastika decal on one side, and then the kind of torn, I don't, that's not torn, what's the name in English? I don't know. Well, it points that direction. Tricolor shield, black, white and red. On the other side, the original comp is still intact, and liner, chin strap, it's all there. So a nice early aluminum, I believe, yeah, it's aluminum, you can see here as well, aluminum helmet for a fireman. Then a nice camouflage helmet in typical what we call Dutch camouflage colors. This was found in Holland, never left Holland until I took it out of there yesterday, and now it's in Belgium. It has been worn, as you can see, but the colors are still very vivid. Of course, on top the color is almost completely gone, but the sides just look perfect. And this is a typical camouflage pattern you see a lot in helmets found in the Netherlands. And the liner is complete as well. It just has this perfectly uncleaned dusty look, and it's a big size as well. It's also an EF 68 helmet, size 61, marked liner. But just, yeah, beautiful colors. And a no decal helmet, a late war example. Then here we have SS parade belt, and the guy of FedEx is there, so I'll just hold on for 1 second here. So that was the guy from FedEx. So Monday morning, sorry, it's Monday afternoon now, but the FedEx parcels are already ready after the weekend, even after the show from Houten. So they're already on their way to the customers. So that's how fast we work here, or Carmen works because she's filming. What else can I show you? Oh yeah, I was actually showing this before the FedEx guy came. So this is a parade belt. It still has the original velvet inside, and it's an SS parade belt. So if you look closely, you will see the SS runes embroidered in silver bullion on the belt. And then here, just the original clasp. I will check if I can see if it's marked. No, it's not marked, but nicely worn. So this would go with an SS officer belt buckle for any parade issues. So we call this a Feldbinde in German. And it has been worn. It's not a mint example, but a nicely worn, beautiful SS officer dress belt. Then some stuff you always find and always sells good is the famous book of Adolf Hitler, Mein Kampf, but this also still has the original paper cover, which is 9 out of 10 times gone. And then if you open it here, you see the normal front, we all know. And I haven't even noticed, but there's still a newspaper inside, probably from after the war. And here is a banknote still inside from 1923. So they probably used this for reading the book. Completed all the pages, and always look if the picture of Adolf Hitler is still present. So sometimes angry Germans after the war would rip out this image. I don't know why they did that, because if you hated him so much, why just not burn the book? But they just ripped out the picture sometimes. And if the picture is ripped out, the value of the book is, of course, almost a third of what it is today. You can always look in the books, they're always made in different years. This is 1941, it's a wartime example. And it's in good condition. And this is then the wedding edition. The wedding edition was given to any person who would wed in Germany. It always comes in a case like this, same as the cover. Most of the times this case is missing and you only find the book, so this one is complete. It always has the gold upper side. And then if you open it up, it's always been named to the couple who would get into marriage, and signed by the mayor of the town. In many cases, sometimes you will see also this page torn out because the people wouldn't want their name on Adolf Hitler's book. Of course, when they're complete like this, they're nice, complete, and quite hard to find. This one dated 1939, 17th of April, and here we see the name of the town, Unaramen. Yeah, I don't know where it is, somewhere in Germany. And here as well, the picture still inside, and then the date of the book, 1938. Some medals, but maybe I will make a little bit of room first. Wait, let me just put some helmets in a case. Books. So here we have a German cross in gold, still has an original box. The original box has a gold border around the box as well. And when it's silver, it's for a silver cross, but this is the gold one. And we open it up. It's a beautiful unworn German cross, mint condition. So you can see here the red is still gray. When this would be worn, the red is actually, so this gray red is actually also made of like a brass type of material. Then the brass would peek through. So in this example is actually unworn, and even the white circle underneath the swastika is perfectly uncleaned. Some people would clean it, but this has just a nice patina over it. It's 100% mint and never issued. And then if you look on the back here as well, nicely silver on the back. And let's just open the pin here. And then on the back of the pin, you will see the maker mark here, number 20 of the Zimmermann factory in Germany. So this would be called a Zimmermann German cross in gold, and in its original boxer etui, in perfect untouched condition, never been worn, always been in this box, I believe. So very nice, crispy example. Here we have another badge in the box. This is the Wiederholungspanje. People would get this if they got the Iron Cross first class twice, once in the First World War and then in the Second World War. So they could wear this above their Iron Cross of the First World War. They actually, so they could prove they gained it twice, so once in World War I and once in World War II. This minty box, as you can see, not issued, is actually for a clasp of the manufacturer BH Meyer. I think we have one on the website at this moment for sale as well. The clasp itself is a Däumer clasp, so it doesn't really match, so we will sell this separately. Original early clasp, and it's a bit vaulted as well, as you can see. It goes a bit like this, so it has been nicely worn on the tunic, and here a nice original setup with no repairs. Beautiful example. I will show some more badges. So we also found a lot of normal badges. Just let me put them here all on the table. Give me 1 second. I'll put everything on the table. Ribbon bars, pins, lots of iron crosses. We'll talk about this one a little bit later. Yes, okay, so some small items. A lot of them are, as you can see, Iron Cross second classes from different manufacturers, but original ones. Unworn, worn example. Here's another worn example. Just nice original Iron Cross second classes from the Second World War. And then we have the same one from the First World War. Also different manufacturers. Average condition, the original ribbon still attached. Here we have two Iron Crosses first class by the same manufacturer, both nicely marked on the pin. L15, I believe. Yes, there we go. Same manufacturer, beautiful crosses. This one has a little bit of rust here, but both in fairly good condition. Eastern Front medal, not that special, but just a nice medal. Wound badges, black wound badges, all steel examples, so not brass, early brass ones, but mid-war steel examples. Maker marked 65 over here, and then these are both maker marked 32 in the helmet. I don't know if you can catch it on camera, there and there. Yeah. And what else do we have here? These are the typical party badges, enameled ones, beautiful condition, and all have their different maker mark on the back with RZM, M113, RZM, I don't know, hard to read here, but M142. And this is an early one, which is a transitional one, which has the RZM marking, but also still the GISH marking. So it's an early transitional one, double markings. Here we have a miniature Panzer assault badge in bronze, but still has all the finish intact. A beautiful example. Sometimes these are also maker marked, but this one is not, but it's a very nice example. What else do we have here? Mother crosses in good condition, a bronze one and a gold one. Nice enameled pieces. The typical 1938 date on the back and the signature of Adolf Hitler. So these would be awarded to mothers for the amount of children they would had. The bronze one for, I believe, 3 children, and the gold one would be from 7 or more, and there's of course a silver grade from, I believe, 5 children, if I'm not mistaken. Here we have an Edelweiss badge for officers. It has been damaged by the moths, but it's hard to find example in bullion, original example for officers. And we have some officer breast eagles here, different manufacturers, Army breast eagle, Luftwaffe breast eagle in bullion. So they all look different from the back as well, but all original. These still have the paper backing, the Luftwaffe eagle as well. This one never had a paper backing, I believe, but all original and all worn examples as well. So not mint ones, but worn. Here I have some extra ribbons. These always come in handy when you find medals without ribbons, especially these Iron Cross World War I ribbons are actually hard to find, so I'm always glad when I can find one if I have a medal lacking the ribbon. And then here a nice set of M38 pre-war color tabs, enlisted color tabs for the army. They have no branch indication, so these are just dark green, so they would fit for any branch. The branch color would only be visible on the shoulder boards. They're original, nicely paired. Here is an enlisted breast eagle for the Waffenrock, for the dress uniform, but often you will see these eagles also being issued for officers on the field, but they were initially made for the Waffenrock, flat wire silver eagle, and always attached on a piece of cloth, and then like this it would be attached on the tunic. So that's not the tunic removed. They would have been issued on like in the factory like this as they look. So an eagle with zigzag stitching, sorry, on a piece of field green cloth. Here we have a tab from a buckle, 1936 I believe, but nicely Luftwaffe marked on the back, also 36. So if somebody is lacking, have a early Luftwaffe buckle without a tab, this would be excellent for restoration. And then here a nice light worn army belt buckle, still has a lot of green paint intact, from a slightly more rare manufacturer, Gebroeders Gelurfel in Ludenscheid, dated 1938. And then let's look on the back, all the green paint intact, but no visible maker mark for this manufacturer. So just a plain buckle, very good condition. So that's the small stuff. And what else do I have? A nice butcher bayonet, World War I, but an uncleaned one. So it's very hard to find one. Has some dents from combat use. Still has the, you can see, these had not been filed down. Just untouched World War I bayonet, full length. And here marked C.G. Hegel Sul. And then the date you will always find here, 1915. So a nice unclean bayonet, not rusty or whatever, beautiful condition. Then here, an SS visor cap, Allgemeine SS, early example with the maker mark, so pre-RZM, so like really like in the early 30s. It still has the first pattern eagle, and we see here a kind of a political eagle. So I thought, is this original on there? But then I kind of looked on the back, and really the print of the eagle is in there for ages. So I looked in my book, this book, and you will see here an identical, not identical, but a description of this of the fact that it says here the guy is wearing a M36 national pattern eagle instead of the first or second pattern used by the Allgemeine SS. So the eagle is similar to the worn by the SA. However, it has shorter wings. So as you can see here as well, this is exactly the eagle as described in the book that's on this visor cap. So it's not an SS eagle, it's a political one. So that small error was the camera battery that went dead. We are 1 day later now because it took some time to recharge the camera. But here we are again, continuing the video. So I was just explaining actually about this beautiful Allgemeine SS visor and about the nice period applied political eagle on the hat itself. The hat is actually void of mold damages, just in beautiful condition, and it has the early maker mark here, Deutsche Industrie, with a manufacturer logo over there. It's in really good condition. Besides, here is a small tear, and it has been repaired on the back by a previous collector. If you can see it has a small repair here, but other than that, it's just a very honest early SS visor cap. Of course, as you might know, we also do consignments on the website. The conditions you can look at the conditions of the consignments in the top at the top of the website, and it started to be a great success. And we received quite a few consignments at the Houten show. I'll put them on the table. So it's also good that we had 1 day to clear the table. So now I can put more stuff on the table. It's heavy. This was also consignment, and well, I'll start with this. This is a very nice piece. Actually, it's a volunteer poster for SS volunteers, and it tells the story about. In this case, it would be for French or a Walloon here in Belgium. How joining the SS actually becomes a fairy tale. They're a poor working family working in the factory, and by actually joining the Germans, they become very successfully. I believe it's actually for the Walloons in Belgium, because we have the French and Belgian language here on the posters. So that I would assume it is for Belgian collaborators. And you can see by joining the SS, they become fit and do awesome things and get a nice uniform, get an Iron Cross, and like this, a happy family. So a nice propaganda poster, very good condition, and we will put this on the website very shortly. I'm not sure if I sell it with the frame, because quite hard to ship, but we will see. I received another poster as well, but I'm not going to unroll it on the video because it will be very vulnerable, so I'll show that on the website later. Then we have this nice helmet here. That's original applied wire helmet. I got this helmet myself a few years ago in the States. I sold it to a collector who now consigns it again because he wants to buy something new, and selling therefore this helmet. But it has an original wire attached. Look how nicely it's applied through the ventilation holes on the other side as well. And it just has the right amount of wear that you like to see. The helmet is also spray painted in green, covering the army decal, so that's like a first type of camouflage, and then they added the wire to put the leaves through. That's complete with the liner as well. I'll put this in the box here. Then of course here, this is a nice and very heavy. I think it's almost 5 kilos. A brass plate of Hermann Göring, Reichsmarschall Hermann Göring. And it has the artist's name as well, Papst. It's a very famous artist. And the back shows actually it was mounted on something, but see how thick it is. It's like really very high quality made piece, very heavy. And yeah, I think if you can polish it, but I like the original patina with the Verde green on it. It's very nice. And then of course this beautiful SS visor, typical Kleiderklasse without any markings inside, like we like to see it. Has the original Kupal skull placed here, and then it has an aluminum eagle, maybe one of these. You see it a lot with SS visors. The insignias are original, but a lot of times after the war these got taken off and switched, whatever. But the main thing is, of course, both of them are original, so that's very important. It's a late war visor. You can tell by the cord as well. It's not made of bullion, but it's made of celluloid, and that's why it has this more like white appeal instead of a silver appeal. So it's an officer visor. You can tell by the velvet band. It's not a wool band, but it's made of soft velvet, and the cap itself, we call this boiled wool. It's a high quality standard for officer visors, and moths really love this. This is like the best food a moth can have, and most of the times when you see this type of cloth, it's always been damaged by moths, but here, and especially in the vulnerable parts, these are the vulnerable parts, moths like to be here, there's no visible moth damage whatsoever. So it has been very well preserved. It's a very, very nice cap we got in consignment. Put it here. And then here we have a very special pair of boots. It's actually a standard German pair of boots with the seam on the side. And these were actually used by the SS troops, early VT troops. And you can see this on the pictures as well, period pictures as well. And there's even a nice thread on the Wehrmacht Awards forum about these particular boots. And later in the war, these also were issued with SS troops who fought in Mediterranean and tropical use. So these were also sometimes referred as SS tropical boots. So they have been used before the war and then during the war by the tropical SS. So classic pair, has a typical German shape and also the typical German bottom, as I like to see here with these 2 lines and 2 lines. If it has more than 2 lines, or this looks different, don't buy them. They're probably from another country. This is typical German manufacturing. You can see the rubber sole here is a typical replacement from the time from a shoesmith that repaired the boots. So these as well, it's typical added during the war. Still some markings left over here, size markings probably. Sometimes you will find these with SS markings on them as well, like that's really nice to see. I got a few more boots, not consigned ones, but for my own collection, because I really like mint boots. So here we have a mint pair of German mountain trooper boots, beautiful, never issued. I really like this because sometimes I can't imagine how in all this time they never issued these boots, because I can imagine like after the war, Germany was quite poor and then everybody needed shoes or whatever, but still they managed to not use some of the boots, and I have quite a small collection of them already, of unissued boots. So this is an excellent pair of mountain trooper boots. You can easily recognize them by the cloth piece on the ankle, and of course the highly heavy nailed bottoms for, of course, climbing. They're nicely marked here. 29.5 is the German sizing, and even has the tailor markings still attached. Here as well, typical German size markings. And then we have what I believe here, another size marking here on the inside, and same here on the inside as well. And the same goes for the other boot, which is of course the exact pair. Same markings to be found as well. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that this is the date 1945, which makes sense because that's why they are so minty. So a very nice late war constructed pair. And you can see here on the side, they're marked 44. So they must have been made somewhere on the edge between 44 and 45, 44, 44, and then inside 45. So probably made during New Year's Eve in 1944. Then I got another pair of boots. This is a standard enlisted pair of boots. So like this is the SS type, and this would be the normal enlisted type M37 low boot with hobnails on the reverse. Also unissued, and also a later pair with the RBN number already, which I believe this is an RBN number on the back, and I think dated 1943. And then, of course, these numbers also come back in the inside if you open them here. Size markings, an RBN number over here. These are made in black. Sometimes you see the boots made in brown, sometimes in black leather. Depends a bit what they had at that time. So the other example shows the same bottom as the other one. A nice unissued pair of boots for my collection. And here's my collection of mint unissued boots. And my two new additions, of course, here. Nice Luftwaffe marked pair. Or is it this one? I believe it is. Here we go. LBA marked. Look at those markings. Beautiful. So that being said, I forgot something before the battery went dead with the medals, but this was actually one of the best pickups of the day. It's actually Knight's Cross of the War Millet Cross without swords. It has an original full-length ribbon still attached, and the small ribbon, of course, to make the knot in the back of the neck. It's a classic early war example, and we have the maker mark. I hope you can catch it on camera. We have a silver marking here, right above me. That's what I believe an 800 marking. And then on the other side, we have a small number 1, which is of course the number 1 of the firm of Daschler, who made this beautiful cross. The other side shows, of course, the date 1939, when it was issued for the first time, and it's actually a Knight's Cross, but then for people who were not active at the front. That's why it doesn't have any swords. But a beautiful, beautiful piece, and a very rare piece, of course, as well. So that was about everything I wanted to say. I don't see anything left in the boxes so far, so that's good. So it means we're already at the end of the video. So a few things I would like to say for next time as well. In Houten, we will try maybe a new concept in our stall, and we will try to do some of the, because we have a lot of people coming to our stand, first of all, congratulating you for the videos, which makes me feel good all the time. And then also asking opinions about stuff. Is this original? Is this not original? And I would really like it to, next time, if you have something to show me, we will try to film it at the show so I can give you an opinion at the show, and we can put it in the video so we have a more interactive video like this. We can maybe try and see if an item is fake, and then I can point out to the person there at the show what's wrong with the item, and have like a small video show at the show in Houten. So next time in Houten I will put a reminder to bring your stuff there and put all the details a bit further in the next video. But that's the concept I want to do for next time in Houten. Then again, I also want to thank everybody who leaves a feedback on the website, because every time we sell something, you get an automatic email to give points from Trustpilot. I will show it right over here, you can see the website, and on the top you will see we reached now more than 1,000 reviews already from customers, of which most of them are, of course, and lucky for me, positive ones. There are always people who are not happy, of course, but we try to make them happy afterwards. If something went wrong, we're always here to talk with you, communicate, whatever, to solve a problem. But of course, it's impossible to keep everybody happy, but we try to make most of the people happy. But anyhow, I would like to thank everybody for all the feedback we got. It's amazing, more than 1,000 reviews. They even called me from Trustpilot themselves that it's very unreal to have real opinions and not fake ones made in India or whatever, where they make those fake opinions. So thanks again for everybody for making that opinion like this. We are more credible. We have more credibility for new collectors who want to reach out. So that being said, this will be the last video for 2024, and in a couple of days, 2 weeks, we have Christmas and then New Year. So here I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, have a good holiday with your family, and I hope we can make a lot of new videos in the next year. So thanks again, and already a very early Happy New Year to you all. Thanks for watching.